What's up, everyone? It is day 5 of keto and intermittent fasting. I feel, let's see, how do I feel? Let me think. Well, at the moment I feel hungry because I haven't eaten yet, but other than that, I feel really good. Don't have the crashes from carbs and sugar, like I've said in my previous videos, which is great. Yeah, overall, I think this is something that I'll probably end up doing long term, because it works for me. I can make recommendations to you guys, but as far as I only know how my body reacts to this stuff based off of what I eat. I say pretty much in most of my videos that how you feel after eating foods is the most important thing by a long shot. I mean, obviously, it's pretty easy to know what's healthy and what's not. Let's see if I can put this down right here. Just let me slide on me. There we go. Yeah, so, I mean, you can do all the research in the world that you want, but at the end of the day, no one knows your body better than you. And I think that is extremely important, because I think in my last video, I mentioned how I had some whipping cream with some heavy whipping cream, not whipping cream, it's different. I had some heavy whipping cream with my coffee, and I felt like shit after. Felt really nauseous, and I was getting almost like heartburn, where you kind of burp it up. Don't need to get too graphic, but I could just tell. I could literally taste what was the issue with how I was feeling, why I was feeling that way. But anyways, I am rambling on. Let's look at my meal. So I got a Berg coffee. No sweetener, not even stevia. You can add stevia if you want, but not the biggest fan. Let's see, I'm gonna switch. So here is my Berg coffee. Got this from Manresa Bread in Los Gatos. Super good. It's just coffee and half and half mixed together. So I'll have one avocado. I'll have probably about a slice of this cheese, like that much right there on the right hand side there. And then I got a side of bacon and 4 eggs. And then this coconut yogurt is super good. It's got no added sugar. It has a ton of fat, so it's got half of this is 450 calories. It's got 44 grams of fat. It does have 12 carbs, but you subtract. So net carbs are different than total carbs. Total carbs, if you have fiber in something, you subtract the fiber from the carbs. So this has 6 net carbs in here. It does have 6 grams of sugar, but it has no added sugar. So it just comes with the process of it. I wouldn't recommend having this too often, because it does have sugar in it. You want to avoid sugar as much as possible. What's up, everyone? Just got back from a workout, did arms and biceps. Now I'm going to have my second meal of the day. First meal, I don't think I put a time on there, but I think it was about 2 o'clock, maybe 1:30. Having my second meal is 8:30 right now. I'll probably end up starting to eat in about 10 minutes, so about 8:45. So let's see, what is that? It's about a 7-hour eating window. So that means I'm basically fasting for 17 hours. Yeah. So, well, actually, it depends on when I eat tomorrow.
Sometimes I'll push out my fast even further if I'm not doing anything that's strenuous. I won't be that hungry, and it's always best to push out your meal as far as you can. Just because your body will get into autophagy, like I've said before, and it's like a body's natural recycler. It's almost like a garbage disposal, but it turns worse. Like, basically, it's almost like, I know this is a ridiculous comparison, but if there's like a pack in the wild of animals or whatever, the weakest gets basically killed first, and the pack becomes stronger. I know that's an outrageous comparison, but it's kind of similar. That's the first thing I could think of, so don't judge me on that, but that was the first thing I could think of. So basically, any of the worst things in your body, when autophagy kicks in, it will recycle that and turn it into better tissue. So anyways, I'm ranting. I'm sorry. Let's see. What do we got here? All right, so I got I don't know what kind of steak this is. I think this is just a tenderloin steak. What's this? Organic grass-fed strip loin. Okay, so this is a New York steak. Don't be afraid. If you've ever eaten meat before, that's what happens when oxygen hits it. Don't worry, I'm not eating bad steak. I got it a couple days ago. I appreciate your concern. And then Kerrygold butter. It's the best. I know I keep preaching it, but it's literally the best butter. See it there? So a little bit of olive oil in with the butter, and then I'll use this dry rub that I actually got a long time ago at a winery, but there's no sugar in it. And then I'll just put some pepper. It's always good to go organic. And just some sea salt. Himalayan pink salt is way better than regular salt. I just don't have any right now. I'm just going with this one. And then I'll throw in some garlic into the pan. Usually I'll wait till the steak's about like halfway done, and then I'll do that. I think what I'm gonna try tonight is I'm gonna drink this tea. So it's organic, and then see how it's got no sugar. And it's actually got a little bit of sodium in it, which is good. This stuff is super good. I would highly recommend this stuff. This tea is really good. It's unsweetened, but it's brewed with real salmon. It's actually really sweet, considering that there's no sugar in it. I'm gonna put a little bit of this coconut milk in there. Maybe, so there's 5 servings in this. This is just a really good source of fat. I know there's 1 sugar and 1 gram of carb, but if you just stick with the serving size, 1 gram of sugar and one carb is not going to kill you. I would recommend staying under like 20 grams of carbs. The lower the carbs, basically, the better the keto diet's going to be. And then I know this is going to be a ridiculous concoction, but I actually might throw some wheatgrass powder in there and some chlorella powder. These two are like insane superfoods. This and this. I get most of my stuff on Amazon, like my supplements and stuff. If I don't get it there, then I get it from Costco. So yeah, I might mix that in with there, or my salad, or maybe just some water. As far as my salad goes, so I don't really have an exact weight to it, but if you go to Whole Foods, I get most of my food from Whole Foods, like my steak and produce here and there, but mostly I stick with their salad bar. There's cauliflower, fennel, radish, cucumber, mushroom, some arugula in there, and then the salad itself is a mix of spring mix and like a kale mix, I think. And then I always put this stuff in it. This stuff I actually got from Whole Foods. This stuff is super nice. It's great. And then if you look, check out the macros in this thing. So I have a tablespoon that I use to measure this out. So 4 tablespoons equals a quarter cup. You're getting 13 grams of fat. And then net carbs. I said earlier, so there's only 2 grams of net carbs. Net carbs is your total amount. So it's carbs minus dietary fiber. Okay? So you're getting 13 grams of carbs in this serving size here. Chia seeds, they're dank. They're just a good superfood, honestly. See, look at this right here. Perfect example. There's 5 grams of carbs, but there's 5 grams of fiber. So your net carbs is 0 on this. They cancel each other out. Protein and fat are the same, but this is good stuff. Trust me. Get this at Costco. And then also I get my hemp seed at Costco too. Organic superfood, see? They ain't lying. It's delicious and it's nutty. So check this out. This one is actually even better than the nuts. Polyunsaturated and monounsaturated, those are probably your best fats, but don't be afraid to eat saturated and trans fats. The only times any kind of fat is going to be bad for you is if you're eating a lot of sugar with it, or carbs. But anyways, 3 tablespoons of this, 14 grams of fat, money. And then I'll probably have a few nuts. I get these from Whole Foods. They have them there's a little aisle where you can just fill up yourself. And then I'll have probably half of this. It's pepper jack cheese, organic, grass-fed. That's always your best bet. And that will be meal number 1, or I'm sorry, I'm trying to multitask here. That is meal number 2. Number 2. What was I gonna say? I was gonna say something. Yeah, so I'm pretty much going all out for this keto intermittent fasting. I just feel really good on it. I know it's like clockwork, but I just go with how my body feels. If I feel good after eating this stuff, let me see if I can put this right here. There we go. What does that sound? Sorry, I'm distracted. Yeah, so I'm just going off of how I feel. I know a lot of these meals are kind of very similar, but honestly, there's a lot of flavor in all this stuff. There's a lot of fat. It's very flavorful. I would recommend just changing up your steaks. Steak is honestly the best. It's gonna be really hard if you're a vegetarian trying to do keto. I honestly don't think it's possible, to be honest. Just because the stuff that you have to eat. I mean, what I will want to do to kind of switch things up is fatty fish is really good. Mackerel, salmon, sardines. I'll do some more research for you guys, since some of you guys are lazy. No, I'm just playing. I don't even know who's watching right now. I'm hoping someone's listening. But yeah, so fatty fish is good. I would probably recommend steak before fish, but those are both really good. And then wouldn't really recommend chicken. You don't want to have lean meats on this diet. It's just, you need that fat. You need more fat than protein. And I mean, obviously in a steak, you're gonna get more protein than fat, but it's gonna be a way more even ratio than like a chicken is gonna have a ton of protein and like barely any fat. You could get like chicken thighs. I haven't done much research myself, so I don't wanna give false information, but I know you can get chicken thighs, which they do have some fat on them. To be honest though, the difference of how like a chicken fat tastes to like a steak fat, steak fat is way better. But to be honest, now that I'm thinking about it, fish is, you can barely even taste the fat in the fish. And if you have like a really fatty piece of salmon, I don't know if you've had a fatty piece of salmon, if you get the belly meat, so it's the bottom, it's like literally belly meat. It's the bottom of the fillet. That's gonna have the most fat, and it's actually super flavorful, and the texture is a lot more tender than just a normal piece of salmon. So actually, I would say fish fat is a lot, I'm not gonna say flavorful, but it's just way different texture. It molds better with the protein that you're getting from the fish. Like a steak, sometimes you'll get like a real crunchy piece of fat. That's something that you might have to get used to if you're gonna do the keto diet. I hate to say it, but just power it down, because that part of the steak, in my personal opinion, that's the best part of the steak as far as nutrition wise. You're getting the most out of that because that is your main source of energy on this diet. And I feel great personally so far. If I think of something else to talk about, I will see you in a sec. So, little audible, not having cheese, having a whole avocado instead. And I took that coconut milk and I mixed it with the cinnamon tea I had. I have a, what do you call it, the Ninja or NutriBullet, I don't know what the hell it's called. I took that, 2 servings of the coconut milk, that whole cinnamon tea, and then the 1 scoop of the chlorella powder and 1 scoop of the wheatgrass powder. And it's actually pretty good. I try to get the wheatgrass powder in and the chlorella every day just because it's a really good thing to put in your body. And don't cheat yourself on food. Try to always get organic. I hate when people say that organic's expensive. If you're getting like meats and stuff like that, yeah, it's a little expensive, but at the end of the day, you're investing in your health. That's what you're doing. If you're eating produce that's not organic, you could potentially get cancer down the road later in your life, because there's a lot of pesticides in it and stuff like that. And it's really not even that much more expensive. I was just at Whole Foods, and I think maybe organic produce is maybe 50 cents to $1 more to get fresh produce that's organic. The one downfall about organic produce is that it's not gonna last as long, and that's because it's not treated with pesticides. Usually they put spray on non-organic produce to make it last longer. And I don't really know what else to say about that, but just don't cheat yourself. Try to always buy organic, because I promise you it's gonna be worth it in the long run, and it's not that much more expensive. Meat you should be okay with that's not organic. If you get like some grass-fed or pasture-raised beef, just make sure it doesn't have any hormones or nitrates or any preservatives that's put in it after, and you should be fine. So here is my meal. So I got New York steak, avocado, my salad. I put a few extra nuts on there. I put olive oil, lemon juice, and apple cider vinegar. That's my salad dressing. And then I'll probably have a few of these pork rinds just because I like them. It's kind of they're actually really not bad. Check it out. It's got 1 gram of carb, 1 gram of sugar, bunch of sodium. Sodium's not bad. You're fine. Honestly, sodium's gonna help you get rid of the keto flu, which is an actual thing if you're just getting into this. But stick with it, and I promise you it'll be worth it.